the number of times I get the question, who is your manufacturer? Where do you buy from? What online website do you order from? Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I have something really exciting for you guys. If you've been following my business talk series, you already know that my first video kind of went viral. In that video, I was explaining how I started my own successful business as a young entrepreneur, and that video is actually blooming right now, and I got so many questions regarding how I kind of started, how I know all this business stuff, where do I print my stuff, who is my manufacturer. I got like so many questions, and I just wanted to take the time to make a video and respond to a few of them, because I feel like at some point like I can respond to comments, but I really wanted to go in depth because some of the comments are actually like they are hard to answer in just a comment. So if you want to see me answering questions on that video, just keep watching this video. But before we jump into the video, make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the business talk episodes. So make sure you subscribe and you turn on the post notifications to get notified whenever I post a new business talk video. Also, don't forget to follow me on my Instagram. I post on there every single day, little behind the scenes of my everyday life. I'm super active on there, so make sure you follow me. I also have a TikTok account if ever you want to follow me on there. It's Sabrina Tam once again. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Let's just jump right into this video and answer some juicy business questions. Okay, so first things first, I feel like most entrepreneurs are kind of scared to talk about business. Business is a kind of one solution brings the most outcome type of industry. So you can do exactly the same thing as another entrepreneur and not succeed as much as them. So like example, I want to be a billionaire like Kylie Jenner. I have big lips like Kylie Jenner. So I start my own lipstick collection thinking I'm gonna become a billionaire just like her. It doesn't really work that way. You have to have your own branding. Her success story came because she was the first of doing something. She didn't copy anybody else. She did it in her own way. She had her own branding. I think you guys get the gist of it. But just that to say that you need to find your own way to stand out, and that's how you will be most successful. So since this is how the business usually works, entrepreneurs tend to be kind of scared to talk about business because they don't want to kind of give out their key to success while kind of like talking about business. But I feel like there is a way to kind of give advice, talk about your story without doing that. I feel totally comfortable doing that, and I actually love helping young entrepreneurs or just like business owners in general that want to start up and just want help and are seeking help, because not a lot of people talk about business like I mentioned. So I'm here for that. So let's just jump right into the first question. So Jane says, I was wondering where your merch is made. You print in MTL, but where do you buy them? And I want to start my business, but no YouTube answers this question, and this is exactly what I meant. Okay, so first off, I bought machinery to print my own clothing. We use like a heat press, and I print with vinyl, which is a very good material to print. Actually, it's super resistant, it won't crack, and that's why I kind of went with that option, because I love the texture of it as well. It's like super thin and it's just super easy to work with, and you have like many different colors. You can have like different textures with the printing, and I just love it. Like screen printing is great for like detailed images, but for what I wanted to do, I love the vinyl because I can get like glitter, I can get like textures, like zebra textures and all that. So I don't know, I just went with the vinyl more because I liked it better, but you can definitely print with a whole bunch of different other things. As for my manufacturer of clothing, I buy my clothing already made, so it's basically basic t-shirts, basic hoodies that a big manufacturer already makes. And this is where it gets kind of iffy. The number of times I get the question, who is your manufacturer? Where do you buy from? What online website do you order from? Like all these questions. But one thing you need to understand if you're starting off a business, or if you are already a small business owner, because I feel like people that have been in business for a long time understand where I'm coming from, but people that are just starting out won't understand this completely, but actually asking someone who is their manufacturer or like where did they buy from, what is their contact, is kind of rude in a way. Why? Because we actually work really hard to find these manufacturers, and by this I mean before I found the manufacturer that I'm actually working with right now, I had to go through so many other ones. I had to order, pay shipping fees, get samples made, and that is definitely like a lot of money that I've lost. I do consider all the money I've lost kind of like, how can I say this, learning process to get where I am today. And I've worked really hard and I've invested a lot in that, and I'm not just going to give that away that easily because nobody does. I mean, like when you work towards something, you earned it and you deserve it, and nobody's just gonna give you that easily. So it's not really something that you can ask. You can actually ask that and offend people, or you can also just ask that and look straight out dumb because nobody asks that. I'm not about to go and email, example, I don't know, like a big company. Like I won't email Fashion Nova saying where do you get your clothes done, because that's just like dumb. They're just not gonna answer me, and that's what most people do. Like Jane said, like nobody has answered me, so that's not something you're gonna usually get an answer to. So yeah, I got a lot of questions that were similar to this one, and that's why I wanted to start off the video with it, because no, I won't be answering that question, but I really don't mind talking about like how I print my clothing and stuff like that, because that's just like me, how I print, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's not like a manufacturer, because that's just a plug. Queen Maddie says, I was looking into becoming my own supplier once I start my business. Can you say what machines you use and possibly do a video showing? Like I said, I use 2 machines to print. So I have a cutter, and a cutter is a super practical machine to have even if you're not printing clothes. It's great to have to like cut stickers out, make labels. It's just like a machine that cuts basically whatever you want. So you plug it to your computer, put a file, and then it sends it to the cutter and it cuts it on whatever material you put into the cutter. So I use that. After that, I have my heat press machine. Heat press machines are basically just a machine that is super hot and it presses the vinyl onto the material or item you want to print, and it transfers the vinyl to the material, and that's pretty much it. It's the 2 machines that I invested in. They're pretty pricey, but you can get some cheaper versions of them, but I just went with like the higher end ones because I wanted my things to stick on properly, and I just invested straight off the bat with like a better quality one. But there are definitely some cheaper options out there if you're starting out and you're not sure you're gonna actually like what you're doing and you just want to test it out. Investor Professional asks, how did you learn about the whole process of e-commerce, like the tech part? Did you learn all from YouTube? Did you take courses? Did you read books? For the e-commerce aspect of it, I kind of just went online and researched stuff, so I'm like kind of self-taught. Never really did any entrepreneurial course. Actually I did, but later on in my life when I already had my company. So I really started off on my own. I taught myself everything I knew on my own. So yeah, I just researched online. There's so much information on Google you guys can find. There's articles, there's books you can even buy like he mentioned, but I never really bought any books. I just like googled everything I needed to know. E-commerce and marketing, I learned it all on my own. I was on Instagram as a blogger and saw how companies would advertise with influencers, so all of my marketing is social media marketing. So I was the creator collaborating with companies, and I kind of saw how they did it with me, so I just kind of like replicated that within my own company with other creators. So that's how I kind of went down with that. It was a lot of self-taught strategies and just me observing how companies would do things from a distance and like try to replicate it in my own way with my brand. Another question that I got is, I'm helping a friend start a business and we have run into a bit of a roadblock. What program did you use to make money transfers? For most online ones, you have to be 18 plus. When I first started, I had my parents' support, like thank God for that. Like my parents supported me a lot. So they helped me set up like payments. So like basically their card was in and they would transfer me the money. So it was like their information there, but I would get the money because they would give it to me. So I do admit like having an online business when you are younger is kind of hard. If you're having an online business when you were under 18, I don't know if that would actually work. I know when I was 17 though, I had a bank account and I remember having my bank account statement like registered into the website, so I was getting my payments. I think once you have a bank account, you can set up payment, but if you do not have a bank account, I recommend like maybe starting a business where you can get paid like cash. So like start off like that, and as soon as you turn of age to have a bank account, then you can like set that up. But having an online business when you do not have a bank account is very challenging because everything you pay for is gonna have to be online. So like if you order stuff, you're using your credit card or your bank account card, so that wouldn't work. In that case, you would have to have someone that is of age to participate in the transactions and be giving you the money back after. But in that case, you would have to be trusting that person a lot with your money. So that's what I did when I first started off with my parents. They like helped me, so you have to kind of like figure out a way to make that work. A lot of people were saying like, I want to start a business but my parents won't help me. In that case, it's really hard. It's very tricky, especially when you are not an adult yet, because you can't really do things on your own. Like I mentioned, for like the bank transfers and the money transfers, like very complicated. I definitely feel you on that. When you are not of age, you definitely need someone to be supporting you, and if you don't have that support, it's very hard to start an online business. That's why I recommended maybe starting like a business that you can like sell in person instead. But as for online, it's almost like impossible to start it on your own when you're not of age and when you don't have the tools to actually start it, like a credit card. Maybe just like wait until you are of age. Maybe just brainstorm on your project, prepare it, like start preparing the designs and all that, so that when you are of age, you can start it up right away and you have everything you need. But if your parents are like not supporting you and you're 18 and you're living with them, I just say like maybe talk with them, say that you don't want to invest that much right away, try to like get them to support you in that way. But I say like the best thing to do is be prepared, show them you're organized, show them that you really love this project and you're passionate. If it doesn't work, I mean, technically you can do whatever you want when you're an adult, but for sure it's always best to have people around you that support you, especially when you're starting off, because it's not easy. Okay, another person said, I have a small business and I don't know how to create an online website for my business. There are so many different website builders out there that are not that expensive, honestly, because hiring a web designer is really expensive. I didn't do that when I first started. I just started off kind of using a website builder, like it's a generic type of template and then you add on to it, and it's super cheap. It's not even that expensive. I think you can even get like a free trial, so like a free month of selling on there without paying, which is amazing. Super easy. There's like Wix, Shopify, there's GoDaddy, there's a whole bunch, and I know at first it can seem kind of like overwhelming. Once you get into it, do your research, kind of like look up reviews of which website builder would be kind of the best for you. I recommend Wix when you're starting out because it's just super easy and it's not expensive, but long term you will definitely have to change. Like I went to Shopify because it's just a bigger platform. So thank you guys so much for all your questions and being so engaging with the video. If you guys have more questions that I haven't answered in my last video or in this video, make sure you leave your comment down below. I will be making more of these, like as I get new questions I'll answer more and more and more. So if I didn't answer, just leave your comment down below and I'll answer it in another video. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Make sure you leave a big thumbs up, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the business talk episodes. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok as usual, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.